Are you in sales and feeling stressed out because you feel unorganized, out of sorts, business is slipping through the cracks, you're not following up with prospects when you should, you're not staying in touch with clients the way you need to manage and nurture those existing relationships? If you're feeling any of this or all of this, I have the solution for you. It is Get a CRM. Stands for Customer Relationship Manager. In a nutshell, it is a computer program where you keep all of your contact and follow-up information for the people that are important to you. If you are not using a CRM, you are making the relationship management and follow-up process so much more difficult. You're doing what I call slipping and sliding, and that is exhausting, and it's going to wear you out. When you're using a CRM, it puts you on firm ground. There's no slipping and sliding. When you're on firm ground, you make so much more progress. So if you're not using a CRM, you're using something. And I'm going to share with you what some of those somethings are that are very common. The first one is a spiral notebook on your desk. I mean, how much time do you waste flipping through pages of paper trying to find information you wrote 3 weeks ago? That is operating in such an inefficient manner. And the bigger problem with that is if you ever lose the notebook, the piece of paper, poof, there goes your future sales. Sticky notes. Please don't use sticky notes. They get lost in the paper shuffle. For all you know, you could lose a sticky note that would have led you to the biggest piece of business you've ever closed. Cell phone. You know, we can do amazing things with our cell phones, but they were not designed to be a CRM. Please don't try to turn it into one. If you do, it will be clunky at best. A paper calendar. You know, this is a fancy spiral notebook with squares on it. If you're keeping all your contact and follow-up information and appointments on a paper calendar or electronic calendar, it's going to get very, very muddy and messy, and our brains inherently shut down to messes. Email. Don't use your inbox as your to-do list and daily reminders because it's not going to work. So an example, let's say I've been talking to a prospect about speaking at their networking group, and he sends me an email and says, Wanda, we're interested, but our board's meeting in the middle of next month, follow up with me then. And I think, better keep that email because I got to follow up middle of next month. Well, that's weeks away. How buried is that email going to get? And am I even going to remember? And if I do, I'm going to have to go hunt and dig and search for that email. And I'm going to be wasting time. It's going to be very inefficient, and it's going to add to inbox overload. So don't use your email. And then the last replacement for a CRM, which is very common and is worse than everything else I just discussed, and that is your memory. You know, don't think, I'll remember to call Bob 2 weeks from today, and I'm going to say, yeah, probably not. There's too much going on. Life is too busy. Our brains were not designed to be a CRM. So I promise you, if you will get a CRM and use it, that is crucial because there's a lot of people who have CRMs paying for them monthly and they don't use them. So if you will commit to getting one and using it, I promise it will change your life. And that sounds very dramatic, but it will change your life because when you're using a CRM, you will absolutely close more sales. You will absolutely have stronger relationships. Nothing will slip through the cracks, and your stress level is going to lower. And when all of that happens, your life changes. There is that much power in a CRM. There's hundreds of CRMs out there. Do your research. What I will say is less is more, simpler is better. If you get a CRM that's too techy, too complicated, complex, it will probably be overwhelming for you, and you won't learn it, and you're going to walk away from it because that's just our human nature. We don't like complexity. So keep it as simple as possible, and you want to make sure it's user friendly for you, it's intuitive. A lot of most CRMs have trial periods where you do not have to put up a credit card. So try it out, and if it's not the one for you, then look for another one. Okay? Now, having said that, you don't want to try to find the exact perfect CRM for you, because there is no perfect CRM. You have to overall like it. But there may be a feature or two that you're not that crazy about, or you wish it were a little bit different, and that's okay. Just ask yourself, I'm not crazy about this feature, but is it something I could live with? Is it something I could get used to? And if the answer is yes, it's okay. If the answer is no, that would drive me up a wall every time I went into the CRM. That is not your CRM. Don't get it, because you're eventually not going to use it. And the other thing I want you to keep in mind is they're not expensive. I mean, the more sophisticated a CRM is, the higher the price point. But even the lower price point CRMs out there are very relative, very current. Now, there is free, okay, but please proceed with caution. You know what you get for free. It's going to be limiting, and you don't want to be limited in your CRM, because the CRM is actually the foundation of your sales and your relationships. So it is not the place to be penny wise and pound foolish. I'm all for saving money, but not here. And I say that because you can get CRMs for as little as $15 a month, 1-5. And that's why you don't want to skimp and get a free one, because you're going to save yourself $15 a month. Don't do it. Give up 2 Starbucks a month, or I don't know how much they are, 3, whatever. They're expensive though. Anyway, I really discourage you from getting free. Just get one that you can have access to all the features, that's going to allow you to do the work that you need to do, that's going to bring you in more sales, give you stronger relationships, lower your stress level, and make sure nothing slips through the cracks. So once you get a CRM, you want to focus on the 3 fundamental features. And I say this because I'm going to want you to baby step your way into the CRM. We live in such a techie time. They have a lot of great features and bells and whistles. And if you try to learn everything at once, it's going to be overwhelming. Start with the fundamental features first. There's 3 of them. You have to know how to input contact information, name, phone number, email address, so on. You need to know how to use the notes section, because that's what really saves you from scrambling and having to try to remember and looking for the piece of paper that you wrote it on, or digging in that memory bank that's typically not reliable because there's so much going on. And then the 3rd feature is the task reminder date. That is your to-do. Okay, so those 3 features, get really good at those, and then learn another feature and get really good at that. Okay, so again, we're baby stepping your way into it. What I promise you, what I guarantee you, is that when you get a CRM, you commit, you do your research, make your decision. Maybe you have one and are not using it. Why? Why aren't you using it? If it's because there's something in there that just drives you nuts, go find another CRM. Or maybe it's because, I'm just comfortable doing it in those other non-CRM ways, which wreaks chaos. And when you're in sales and just business in general, there has to be a degree of order and organization. You want to get rid of the chaos, because if there's no order and organization, the fur will never stop flying. And that is a very difficult environment in which to live. And so, and not just live, but to operate in. And it opens the door wide for inefficiencies. And I believe this crazed world, and I say this over and over again, this crazed world that we all live in has desensitized people to inefficiencies. They're used to running 100 miles an hour in 10 different directions. It's crazy. You don't want to do that. You want to pull it back, get some order and organization so that you can effectively follow up when you're supposed to, which is going to bring you more business, and take care of your relationships. That's also going to bring you more business. You know, it's been said the most successful salespeople have the best habits and best relationships. Using a CRM is a habit. That's all it is. Just get used to it. Now, when we're forming new habits, it's uncomfortable. Yeah, and what happens with so many people is you commit, I'm gonna form this new habit, and the minute it gets uncomfortable, you're out. I'm going back to the way I'm used to doing it, where it's comfortable, regardless of how chaotic it is, and don't, because it's going to cost you business, and it's going to cost you in lost relationships. So be willing to be uncomfortable. Just recognize it for what it is. I'm uncomfortable because I'm not used to using a CRM. I'm still learning how to use a CRM. And that's okay. And the great news is the discomfort is temporary, because once you learn the CRM and get into the groove of it, you will never not use it. It will be uncomfortable not to use a CRM. You will look back and go, how did I function? How did I close business? How did I even remotely maintain my relationships not using a CRM? I mean, it's going to elevate you in ways that will be very pleasantly surprising. And that's what I want for you, okay? So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, because I'd really love to have you back on the next video. Take care.